Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. Bitcoin fell from $114,700 to about $111,000 in just 10 minutes. Guys, what happened yesterday? You can see by this candlestick, it wasn't pretty. I gotta say, it was not pretty. We're gonna get to the chart. Nick here commenting, this is what I keep saying when I see so many crying about any small drop in the market. Take a look at what happened over the last 8 months. We are in the beginning stages of the largest revolution to finance and everything around us in history. So he was retweeting out Vet's comment. Way too many are not grateful enough for the chance they got to participate in this revolution. All right, first let's take a look at the Bitcoin chart and let's just kind of comment on what we have seen over the last several months since Bitcoin really started to explode, and not just Bitcoin, altcoins as well. When Donald Trump got elected president for the second time, 47th president of the United States. This is when crypto really started to explode over here. I mean, Bitcoin had been going up consistently since about, 2022? But it was that altcoin push, I think, that's really getting people excited about crypto. And, even since November of 2024, Bitcoin right now is up 65%. So that is nothing to scoff at in the grand scheme of things. Other cryptocurrencies obviously have done better, but Bitcoin's still doing fairly well. Let me also reiterate, I mentioned this on this channel in the past, that September's, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but September's historically, during the year of the final euphoria phase, September's have generally been bearish. So we should be bracing ourselves for this kind of a thing, down 25%. Again, this was early September 2021. We did see that downturn before that final blow off top. And if we take a look at 2017, let's just go back to the bull run of 2017 over here. You guys can see something similar happen in 2017, right and around here. So that would be early September 2017. We saw Bitcoin go down about 36%. Now, I think we're going to see less volatile swings for Bitcoin. So 25% in 2021, and it was 36% in 2017. Now, currently, here, let's just remove some of that. Now, currently, Bitcoin is down about 10% from that high. And again, I'm taking it from mid-August. So, even if we haven't even started September yet. So I don't know. We could still see Bitcoin rebound a little bit. It could go up before a deeper retracement, but I'm not thinking anything really under 20%, maybe $100,000 per Bitcoin, 98, 99,000. I think we would get a lot of people buying in at that price point, just considering that is a nice round psychological level. If we are to assume Bitcoin does go back down and around here, so that would be 19-ish%, give or take. So, all factors considered, this is not something really to be worried about. This is something that is natural. This is something that occurs every single time in the market. But we've got fear and greed. That's back to neutral, back to 50. Altcoins are still poised at 46. Market cap is down by a little bit over the last 24 hours, down about 3%, down to 3.85 trillion. And altcoins have taken a bit of a hit too. So Ethereum down off that all-time high. Ethereum, by the way, did make a new all-time high. So another indicator with regards to altcoin season. We've got XRP also down 2.63%. Bitcoin's down 3.34%. And all the other altcoins pretty much in the red. There are a few exceptions always, but most other altcoins are in the red at the moment. Can we glean anything from this chart on the hourly? Let's take a look at the 1 hour for Bitcoin. Pretty much, guys, what we saw was this cascading down. It was this big pump to the upside and then a big push to the downside. We saw the same thing for XRP. If I were to just bring XRP up here on the chart, you guys can see we did see a big push to the upside yesterday and then a big push down to the downside, and now we're below those levels from earlier in the weekend. XRP currently trading at in and around $2.93. But guys, remember, we were back down in these levels on Friday. So today is Monday, August the 25th. If you guys are watching this video on the day that I'm releasing it, BullDF ran a poll yesterday on when people first bought XRP. And so I think, when it comes to your expectations with regards to XRP price, this might be useful. So he is saying we're nowhere near the top yet. He ran a poll, and here's what his poll said. When did you first buy XRP? So the selections were between 2012 and 2016, between 2016 and 2020, which was most people here. between 2020 and 2024, and then the final one between 2024 and now. I think it's very interesting and very telling on what people's expectations are based on when they decided to buy XRP, and it'll definitely matter too at what point in the cycle you decided to buy XRP. So I thought I would take it upon myself to create my own poll here. Here, let's just do it real quick. When did you buy XRP? And my choices are going to be a bit different, all right? I'm going to put here during the cycle ending, and then choice 1 ending in late 2017, early 2018. Second choice is going to be in 2021. And third choice, I'm going to put during this cycle, 22 till now. And I really am interested to see the results. So I'm going to post that there. And there you go. XRP community, have at it. Link is in the description of the video if you're looking to find that Twitter X post. I think it will be telling because, everybody's expectations are going to be different, especially if you don't have a lot of experience trading in crypto. But for more information on how I'm treating this cycle, you can pick my brain over there at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. I've been through a few cycles. I've learned a lot, especially during the 2021 cycle. I have made a commitment to myself not to round trip my XRP this time. So I'm taking all the factors that are presented to me, and I'm going to make an informed decision on when to cash out my XRP at reasonable targets. I'm also going to be paying attention to if we do see the real world utility and if that's going to shake anything up. So follow me, patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. It is only $5 a month right now for a limited time, but you got to subscribe and stay subscribed to lock in to that subscription price. What is it with whales? They've been playing a lot of games over the past few weeks, wrecking longs and shorts. Tony Edward retweeting out the Bitcoin news tweet here. A single whale caused today's 310 million Bitcoin flash crash, dumping 24,000 plus Bitcoin. Guys, so some whale just decided, no, I'm going to liquidate 24,000 Bitcoin. And here's the transaction confirmation screen grab just to show you guys the transactions there. Even Jacob King saying, Bitcoin flash crash today, which wiped out 310 million in long positions, has been traced to a single Bitcoin whale dumping Bitcoin for Ethereum. The whale sold 24,000 BTC, including coins that hadn't moved in 5+ years, sending 12,000 plus Bitcoin today alone to the HyperUnite trading platform. So they're tracing those Bitcoins, and they're noticing that whoever sold them decided to buy Ethereum instead. Back to Ethereum for a second, because that's also part of the story. I'm guessing, I don't know, maybe this guy isn't too savvy. Ethereum just hit a new all-time high, and I guess he thought, okay, maybe now that Ethereum's hit a new all-time high, maybe it's going to just go higher than that. Of course, this crash affected the entire market, so now Ethereum is actually back down to about $4,500 per coin. At the end of the day, though, guys, this is all just panic selling. People, if you don't believe me by now, you are an idiot. This coming from Marty Party. Nobody is selling spot crypto except the exchanges and the panic sellers who buy higher. Do not panic. Watch the liquidation levels. Understand and accept how the market functions to remove over-leveraged traders and place your limit orders in the indicated areas. Deep breaths, people. But if you just decide to take the macro approach to cryptocurrency, none of this is really even a problem. Paying attention to the macro trends really does put my mind at ease. So again, if you guys are interested in my strategy, you can follow me at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. Guys, we still have a ways to go. I do think Bitcoin is still going to make higher highs, and I do just want to thank Marty Party. Wanted to thank Jacob King and Tony Edward. Wanted to thank Bull Diep, Nick Crypto Crusader, and Brett here for posting that. Even though he has a vested interest, I think, Michael Saylor is, spot on, at least for now. He said on a live CNBC broadcast that Bitcoin will go up 30% a year for the next 20 years, guys. Listen to this.
Is there ever too much Bitcoin for you to own? Like if you could own all of it, would you?
I don't think we'll get all of it. I don't think in the range of 3 to 5 or 3 to 7% is too much. BlackRock has got more than
I
us.
just wonder. I was thinking about the mental exercise of if you could actually own all of it, like if you would even, bless you, if you would want it.
Well, we started and we had very little, and Bitcoin was 10,000, and now Bitcoin's more than 100,000, and 97% of the Bitcoin is worth 10 times as much, and somebody else, not us, has it. Right. So as a practical matter, what we're doing is we're monetizing and powering up this.
I totally get it. I just mean, if you owned all of it, would that change the entire behavior of Bitcoin?
Yeah, we wouldn't want to own all of it.
I wouldn't want to.
We want everybody else to have their piece. The nice thing there is there's 160 companies that are capitalizing on Bitcoin in the public market, up from about 60 last year. So the Bitcoin treasury movement's exploding. and companies like MetaPlanet in Japan and Capital B in France and Smarter Web in the UK, and then there's a raft of them in the US, Anthony Pompliano's company, and 21. They're all capitalizing. The big idea is I take digital capital, I issue digital credit, and a digital credit instrument can either be longer duration or it can be higher performance. We're offering 9% dividend yield with Stretch. The average money market's 4.2% dividend yield. No one would ever want to give a 9% perpetual yield in a bond that's backed by real estate or backed by gold or backed by any conventional fiat asset. But we're investing in Bitcoin, and my 20-year forecast for Bitcoin is 30% a year ARR. So it's easy for us.
That's what he's telling us. And I mean, even in the bear years, Bitcoin has done very well. So I think a conservative 30% year on year is actually doable. I mean, if we consider the 4-year cycle, I don't think that Michael Saylor is too far off there. Bill Morgan here also commenting, and as XRP price movement is correlated heavily to Bitcoin price movement, one may conclude that it is investors dumping Bitcoin who are more likely responsible for sharp falls in the price of XRP than Ripple. This is a reality as far removed as one can imagine from the Ripple escrow dump BS theory. So I think these two statements are pretty extreme statements. Crypto Arsenal also commenting, well, that was the tweet that Bill Morgan was retweeting out here. There is not a single candle in the entire history of the XRP chart that can be attributed to Ripple or anyone associated to Ripple dumping XRP, not one. Bitcoin has had at least 2 in the last 2 months, very much attributed to whales dumping Bitcoin. Guys, basically the market is correlated to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the index, and as you guys can see, all these other cryptocurrencies dumped based on Bitcoin dumping. You can see it right here in the chart. I mean, everything was dumping. Sometimes we do have Bitcoin going up and altcoins not gaining any traction, and then we have the reverse sometimes where Bitcoin goes down and altcoins see a lot of traction. But generally speaking, the market moves, I'd say 85 to 90% of the time, the market moves in tandem. So these are all, things we have to consider. The good news for crypto holders who hold assets with real world utility is that those cryptocurrencies, I mean, the theory goes as such, those cryptocurrencies are going to break away from Bitcoin at some point. Of course, XRP being our main focus. Michael Branch bringing this to our attention. Ripple is becoming a full stack financial services firm. This is what one expert says. Crypto expert Omar says Ripple is building a full stack financial firm as the Gemini deal and the Rail acquisition boost XRP's outlook. So last week we did, or a couple of weeks ago, we did talk about Rail. I'll link that video up here if you guys didn't catch it. And then there was also Ripple helping out with Gemini's IPO. Ripple's expansion across these multiple sectors of the digital asset industry has come under renewed focus after fresh disclosures tied them to Gemini's IPO. Omar, a crypto investor at Dragonfly, a cross-border venture fund, said the crypto firm has grown into a full-stack financial services firm using XRP. The Gemini filing revealed the credit agreement between the crypto exchange and Ripple. The deal now allows Gemini to make lending requests of at least $5 million each for up to $75 million in total. And I talked about that last week too. I'll link that video up here if you guys didn't catch it. But guys, more importantly, what Omar is saying here, he's saying seeing Ripple's credit agreement in the Gemini filing is a gentle reminder of the behemoth they have morphed into. Now we're watching them as they weave them all together and turn XRP into a full stack financial services firm. Really impressive execution by a team that doesn't get enough credit. Ripple has been in some ways flying under the radar, I think. I think the financial services industry really does understand what's going on here. But at the end of the day, most people are still blind to the fact that Ripple and XRP are going to change the financial landscape. And all these acquisitions, I mean, we have, it isn't just limited to Rail from last week. I mean, Ripple has been acquiring major companies, Medico, Standard Custody. There have been a few others that are just, I can't think of off the top of my head. Put it down in the comments section if you guys can think of them off the top of your head. Oh, Hidden Road. Yeah, Hidden Road is another one. I just happen to see it down here. So Ripple, XRP, they're expanding. Real world expansion is really what's going to get XRP price up significantly over the long term, guys. Again, this is a long-term play for Ripple. But right now in a spec market, we have to pay attention to, things like this. ETFs coming in October. And I thought I'd bring this to you in case you guys are interested. Zach Rector said he's in the process of lowering his XLM targets, not trying to FUD, just want to be transparent. So, it's just to kind of prove a point here. ETFs might help an initial price boost. Of course, this is all still a speculative market. You know my thoughts on trading in a spec market. Price targets are certainly going to be lower than if, real world utility does eventually kick in. And that's what I'm discussing over there at the Patreon. So I wanted to thank Zach for that. Now, another topic here that I wanted to discuss with regards to Bitcoin, okay? Guys, is that the Bitcoin logo that appeared in a 1991 video game? This coming from the Bitcoin archive. Very strange indeed. I know a lot of conspiracy theories have been floating around with regards to Bitcoin. One of the OG Bitcoin developers, Adam Back, he actually made this claim. When Wall Street is 2% in Bitcoin, Bitcoin will be at $1 million per coin. And, I don't doubt for a second that Bitcoin can get up to $1 million per coin. Is it going to happen during this spec run? Highly doubt it. Will it happen in our lifetime? Probably. I wanted to share with you guys this Adam Back clip. He says 100,000 is way too cheap and that Bitcoin gets between 500,000 and 1 million. He says during this cycle, I don't know.
And, the fact that we had an end of epoch new all-time high, 73.5 just before the halving, it's I viewed as a kind of confirmation that, it would have gone higher if not for all of those headwinds. And so, I think it's probably incorrect to draw too many inferences from the last cycle. And so, if you take that out, I think that there's a lot of positive news that, $100,000 is way too cheap. I expect we'll end the year much higher. And, we get between 500,000 and a minimum and a million during this cycle. So we'll see if that transpires. And I think the other thing is, people talk about diminishing returns and you've got the different models. I mean, models are not necessarily that predictive, but, stock to flow, power law, various other models. And, they are this diminishing return theory, technically an S-curve, like adoption of internet, adoption of mobile phones when they first came out, things like that. They go through a gradually phase where it's kind of niche thing and it's expensive and very few people have it. And then it becomes a social phenomenon when everybody has it and the adoption starts to get steeper, right? So it could almost be the opposite, right? People are calling for diminishing returns, but, maybe there are 100 million people with some form of Bitcoin exposure. That can reach a tipping point when there are a few more people that have it, so that, everybody's talking about it and they're starting to use it.
So 500,000 to 1 million during this cycle. And I can already see some people down in the comments section saying, yeah, he'll probably say this cycle hasn't ended yet, even if we do see a bearish turnaround. Guys, this is all, part of how we should be looking at things. Anders here decided to do the calculation. If the Bitcoin market cap, in fact, created a situation where Bitcoin went to $1 million, and what the price of XRP would be. So Bitcoin's market cap would be the market cap that would equal the price per Bitcoin times the circulating supply. If XRP were to match this market cap of $19.75 trillion, we use XRP circulating supply, which is approximately 56.7 billion coins, to calculate the price per XRP. So the price per XRP would be, of course, the market cap divided by the circulating supply, and then he puts in the calculation there, 19.75 trillion divided by the 56.7 billion. And guys, we would get a $348.32 XRP. Therefore, if XRP matched Bitcoin's market cap when each Bitcoin is worth $1 million, the price per XRP would be approximately $348.32. Now, of course, a lot would have to happen for that to occur. Bitcoin would first have to get to 1 million. Maybe that's not until 2030 or beyond. The one factor, though, that I think would get XRP up even higher before that is the real-world utility. And we're on the precipice of this, guys. I mean, Ripple is becoming that full-stack financial services firm. I think this is a clear sign real-world utility is just around the corner. How soon are we going to see that? This is why I have the Patreon, guys. Follow me. I'm tracking everything in real time. Patreon.com/Working Money Channel for more information on that. I also want to mention I have the Working Money Channel merch store, and I'm offering 15% until the end of the month. So you just have under a week left to purchase some Working Money Channel merch at a discount. Link is in the description of the video. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.